series from the Spacepod is intended for mature, open-minded audiences only. If you are easily offended, I suggest you turn this wacky shit right off. Otherwise, welcome to the pod.
Hola.
¿Cómo está?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
¿Cómo está?
El gato.
Sí.
Pantalones.
I never really did well with Spanish.
No, did you ever take any other languages?
No. The only thing that I ever remotely took was Spanish, but it was one of those things where I don't remember what grade it was. It must have been pretty young. I remember doing of course I don't remember the words, but I do remember the song, learning the song pretty early on where it was Sunday. Or wait.
Yeah.
Monday.
Really stuck, huh?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The days of the week. You remember that? Does that sound familiar at all?
What does this have to do with Spanish?
Hang on, let me try to get... Oh, I think John Mark's here. Well, so you did it in English, and then you sang it in Spanish. Does anyone know what Monday is in Spanish?
Fuck. I took 2 years of Spanish, goddammit.
God, we're dumb Americans. Like every other country knows 5 languages. Any guess on what any of the days are in Spanish? Well, tune in next week to Retards in Space. Lau, you want to blow us away with a little Spanish?
Espanol? No.
Well, between the 4 of us, we know exactly 4 Spanish words, and most of them are Taco Bell words.
Ridiculous, man. I took 2 years of goddamn Spanish. Holy shit. I can't even
And you're
think of what
traveled.
Monday
You're traveled and educated, motherfucker. We expect better from you.
It's
I
true.
mean, I could tell you what it was. in
It's
French.
true.
We rely on you for that.
You can tell us what it was in what?
French.
What is Monday in French?
Lundi.
Okay, what about, can you do all the days of the week in France? In France. Can you take a plane to France and go
No,
Monday?
I can't. Honestly, I can't.
Okay. I'm going to move on. I guess, I don't remember how we got on this topic, but I guess the point of the story is we're all fucking retards. But
The description of the podcast.
But it's good to not be alone. It's good to have retard friends. Anyway, but you would do the English one: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the next one would be the same tune and the same rhythm, but the Spanish names for the days. When I was thinking about that song the other day, and obviously I don't remember the Spanish ones, but
I got into the conversation late, so it's not you weren't going to Happy Days, right?
no.
Tuesday, Happy Days.
No, they should have done it in the Happy Days.
I bet you there is probably a Spanish
Tuesday,
version of
Happy
that show that has the proper.
The Spanish version.
Frijo, man.
What is happy in Spanish? Bueno? Bueno dias? No.
You know what? Maybe we should move on, Ron.
Stop trying and looking dumber.
The day
Happy-o. It's Happy-o.
Happy-o?
Oh, God.
well, the Day of the Dead.
Of all the people to go there, John Mark.
Yeah, surprising.
Appreciate it.
And refreshing.
It is refreshing.
I think between the 4 of us we could figure it out. But
Well, I was
You would
watching
think.
some movie. I can't remember what it was, and Reese Witherspoon was in it. And she was walking down the street, and she was like going, "Sexo, sexo," and holding her thumb out, And I was like, that's not real, but apparently it really is. It really is sexo.
Adding an O to the end of a word is not the dumbest reach for a Spanish word. 9 times out of 10, I would say it's going to be. I mean, what's car in Spanish? Caro.
right, but
Literally.
what if you go like day, then you just like doing the Deo song? Deo.
Maybe it is Deo. Said it and said it and said it. I'm sipping for the very first time this new craze that's all the rage, root beer. Alcoholic root beer. Have you guys tasted these?
I had one of them. I don't remember what it was called, but I didn't like it very much.
It tastes exactly like root beer to me. And
Are you drunk?
No, I just tasted it. An on-air tasting, if you will. And I like root beer, so I like it. It tastes nothing like alcohol, and yet it's almost 6%, so it's got the poop.
I like it.
Pretty tasty. So if you guys dig root beer, now apparently this is a growing trend. I went down to Fred Meyer here in East Wenatchee, Washington, and I was able to find no less than 3 brands of hard root beer. So trendy right now, but I don't know what it is. I don't think they're actually brewing with these flavors. It seems like what it is some sort of ale that they're flavoring.
You just throw a little vodka in there.
That they're flavoring like a good old root beer. Works pretty well.
I gotta try that. I do love me a good root beer.
I'm trying a Not Your Father's root beer. They had the Coney Island one down there and another one. I do detect, oddly enough, a hint of banana flavor over it. So if that turns you off, you may want to try the Coney Island. Maybe that's a little less banana-y. I don't know.
That's what real sarsaparilla tastes like there, boy.
Yeah, that strong vanilla flavor does sometimes register as banana, too. So those, I don't know. I like it. I'm digging it. An interesting change of pace.
Like shittins.
Just like shittins. Did you guys have a nice Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I had an asshole. It was pretty crazy, but it was good.
Did you say you had an asshole?
That sounded like an asshole.
That's what
Where'd it
I
go?
thought too. House full.
Yeah, I had an asshole. Oh, house full. I had an asshole. It's pretty good. Like, well, really? Tell me more about this asshole.
I had about 20, 25 people there.
Nuts, man.
Well, it's traditionally, it's the family, so.
Yeah. You have it at your place? Mm-hmm. You cook the meal yourself?
It's kind of like a potluck. Everybody brings a little bit of something, but we deep fried like 4 turkeys and.
Oh wow, 4 turkeys!
Fuck! How many turkeys you need?
It was all gone, dude.
High protein. Well, 25 people. Although we had 25 people and we were all on 1 turkey. That's a lot of turkey.
Right.
Chris, did you work it?
I worked it, but I had a couple of my good friends invited me over after I got off, so I got a little bit of turkey in me. It was good.
Little Friendsgiving.
Little Friendsgiving.
John Mark, about yourself?
Yeah, I went to a friend of Jen's, some people she's known for a long time, and sort of their family, and there was a couple other people that were sort of stragglers, and so it's all good.
Nice.
Good times.
Yeah, Leah and I had a lovely little time in Seattle with her family. Her brother's band, Hand in the Attic, played a show later that night, so it was a nice full turkey day. It was good to get out of Wenatchee. It's good to get out of the fucking house.
Yeah, you've been cooped up quite a bit, huh?
Yeah, it's Chris and I were talking about that earlier today. The Ronsters got to get out of the house, son. I've been applying to jobs all over the place, literally all over the world at this point. It's funny. You
got to give me more notice next time you're coming to town.
Yeah, asshole.
I know. Well, I didn't think we'd have any time, and we really didn't, except at the show. It didn't even occur to me, like, oh yeah, I could meet up with people at the show. Nathan and Trish made it out. It was good to see them. But next time I promise I'll give you at least 15 minutes before we leave the house.
Better than what I got last time.
But it's funny because I keep getting offered jobs all over the place. Got offered a job at a gallery in New York. Got offered a couple jobs in Bend, and I've got another in Bend, Oregon, and I got another interview there. Bend loves me for some reason, and I like Bend. I've got family there. I've been there quite a few times, and I could see myself living in Bend for sure. It's just it hasn't been the right job, so I don't know. Still putting it out there. Really want to shift into another phase,
Yeah, definitely.
Get the fuck out of this hizzy. But I was telling Chris, I've been getting all these offers, and more of them are saying, we've been thinking about changing the way we do things here. We think you might be able to do this from home.
And you're like, fuck!
Nah! That's exactly. I've actually turned down some pretty decent job offers because I don't want to get back into freelancing and just hold up here. That was what was driving me crazy a couple years ago. The gallery and the magazine has kind of saved me, even though that all happens here in the house.
I actually want a job that I can do from home. Jesus.
Everybody does.
I'm with you, Ron. I've spent so much time at my house lately. Like when I go to work, I feel it's like my social time.
Yeah. Well, I used to dream about working from home. I thought it would be like winning the lottery, but I found out that it's not for me at all. It takes a very special breed because I know a lot of people that. Well, Nathan, he wasn't working from home. He had a year off.
Yeah.
And about 3 months into it, he was getting antsy. He's definitely ready to go back in the workforce. I know a lot of friends that do graphic design out of their house, and they just we all get dressed up to go down to Fred Meyer. Or this is one of the reasons I think that so many creative people meet in coffee shops. Because yeah, you can come over, or I can go over to your house, but we're all working from home. Let's get the fuck out of the house and go somewhere else. Took me a while to grasp that, but yeah, it's not for everybody. So I can tell you, John Mark, while you may actually be the type that would love working from home, you still might be surprised once it was actually put into practice how. Because I always thought of myself as sort of an antisocial guy. I mean, I'm a social guy, and I like people. I don't require a lot of people. I like my alone time more than the average Joe, but enough is enough already. Eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure that if I had too much time working at home, it would drive me crazy. But I think that I would like, something like mostly at home that then I can later go out and do something outside that's maybe part of it.
Yeah.
John Mark's living that lifestyle where he's going to concerts on Tuesday nights. When was the last time the roster did that?
Yeah, I don't go out to anything anymore. There's no time. A lot of all that's got to change. I got to start living again. Damn it, I want to live. Anywho, enough about me. You guys been watching these beautiful Black Friday brawls.
Oh man,
some truly embarrassing shit. And I know
so ridiculous.
I think they're fairly few and far between, but seeing a grown woman rip a toy out of a little girl's hand with such passion, it's just the fucking worst. And have you guys seen the video of the hordes breaking through the barriers at Walmart or something like that, right?
No.
It was like
I didn't see the ones from this year, but I've seen the ones, from previous years.
It could be a lot of the ones that I've seen are recycled, but it was like one where there's a barricade and they've got like cops or security guards out there, and one lady just calmly walks past and goes into the door, and then another dude's like, well, what the fuck? And then he walks past, and then it's just a mad dash. It's like you can't even explain it unless you see the fucking video. It's a full-on riot to get into Walmart, and then once they're in there, it's just a disaster. It's terrifying. It's scarier than a zombie movie, to be honest.
Wow. Huh.
We are such fucking chumps, too, because we value this shit so much. Like, what's the best thing that you could possibly walk out with from Walmart? A TV? Or an Xbox or something? I mean, that's like the best. I mean, these places aren't giving away diamonds or gold bricks or the fucking cure for cancer.
I saw an article that had a bunch of Redditors' stories of working at Black Friday. And one of them was, I think it was a Toys R Us. And some lady she was fighting with another person. I think it was a dude over like a Tickle Me Elmo back in the day, right?
Oh yeah.
And he thought so he was watching this struggle, and he thought for sure that she was going to win. The guy was going to let go of it or whatever. Yeah. But he just like punched her right in the face. Like,
bitch went down like a sack of taters.
She did, literally, and like bloodied her nose, and she just fell to the ground. And he just like ran out the front door, tried to walk up and just pay for it. And they arrested him. I think they arrested him for assault, and then just gave it to her for free. But of course, like what recompense is that really when you get popped in the face and your nose is all bloody?
Right.
God.
Bloody me Elmo.
See, this is the thing, and the real irony is that we already have enough shit at home. If we're the type of people that are standing in line for these things, I think that most of us have enough shit, but we want the better shit. And that's not even so bad on its own, like wanting the new shit. I get that. But wanting it so badly that we become animals to get it, we really need to start taking a look at why we act this way. I mean, we are... It feels like we're sort of being programmed like rats to beg for food, and they hit the red button and they just go crazy like, food. Black Friday, open the gates and it's like that fucking movie, The Purge. Anything fucking goes for one night, and it's fucking crazy. Anyway, I made off with a new TV, and
I only had to rip it out of a 7-year-old's hands.
I had to punch 3 ladies to get it. I also raped a gal, but if I'm honest, that had little to do with Black Friday.
Oh my
God. Fucking crazy. We are insane. I was reading a story where people were actually being groped. This is a free-for-all. It's like, it's so much chaos in a crowd that you could just reach down and get yourself a nice handful of ass or titties. And if you're reaching sneakily enough, by the time the lady turns around, she's not going to have a fucking clue who did it. So there's all sorts of molesting going on with these things. People are following people home to get the shit that they missed out on. In some cases, violence is involved, usually intimidation and then violence. Fist fights in malls in front of their children. Does this happen in other countries? This feels like an American thing, but maybe I'm wrong. Outsiders, let us know if life is like this where you live. And
I was just going to say, I don't think that happens anywhere else. I'm pretty damn positive it doesn't happen anywhere else.
well, this is why it feels like we're being programmed. Like I said, we have ample shit in our house. There's ample shit available out there. We can get shit. Shit is cheap enough to be given away, honestly. And
Don't get me started on this, Ron. Don't get me started.
It's held. You can do this with anything. Make something seem like the coolest, greatest thing in the whole world. We've been programmed since we were, shitting our diapers to look at this TV and think, oh, I want that. Our entire being is around, oh, we got to get that. We got to get that. No, now that's the thing we got to get. That's the point of life, at least in this fucking country. That's how we start life, and it never stops. You guys notice that? It never stops. Like in the back of your head, no matter what kind of life you choose to live, in the back of your head, you are constantly feeling like you need to upgrade something because it's about that pursuit of happiness, which in this country just seems to be the pursuit of more shit.
Well, that and status, I think.
Status.
I think a lot of people that do that, necessarily like Black Friday is just, because it's that time of year, Christmas is coming up. Mm-hmm. They want to get shit cheap.
Well, it can be fun, I'm sure. A lot of people really get into it. I know people that get into it and they love going through the shit to find the, the deals, and they don't mind standing in line. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't like people that much.
No, I couldn't handle the crowds. And
at the time, I couldn't stand in line for fucking 3 hours waiting for something.
Exactly. I can't imagine anything I would stand in line for 3 hours for anymore. I mean, like, I go to PAX. I go to PAX now.
Oh, yeah.
I will not stand in line for the games anymore. I'm just like, it'll be out in 6 months. I'll play it then.
Exactly.
See, I don't need to play it. I could watch it right here.
I've never been one of those latest and greatest kind of guys anyway, but even, I feel like a lot of people I know are, and they still won't participate in Black Friday. So it's like it's a whole different species. I think a lot of people must sort of get off on the chaos of not like from I'm going to go raise hell, but, just as from a spectator sport.
I think it's for me, I think it'd be more of the thrill of the hunt, try to find that spectacular deal.
Yeah, but you're not just finding like a hidden Easter egg out there. It's like an Easter egg hunt where 3 or 4 people might slap you in the fucking nuts to get your egg as soon as you're reaching for it. That just doesn't sound fun to me. Like, don't touch me. I don't even want people touching me. That's one of the reasons why I don't go to big concerts anymore. Someone's always rubbing against the roster. I got to switch colognes or something.
Anyhow, I would have thought you would have liked that.
People touching me? Yeah, that does sound like me.
Rubbing up against you.
Yeah. Well, there is some stuff we're going to be talking about later that I like. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. And we're also going to get our Wound Effigy on the show, our associate producer, to sit in from News Quiz. In fact, we should probably get cracking. I'm going to get to some news, and got a whole pile of emails to get to tonight. And there are some amazing ones. Seems like every time we do this, there's at least 1 or 2 that are really, really special, but they're all good this time. Until then, I wanted to talk about this story. A team of developers in Canada have come up with a way for ordinary people to track extraterrestrial encounters with their very own satellite. The device is called the CubeSat for disclosure. It's a low Earth satellite, low Earth orbit satellite, which I guess uses ionized radiation, cameras, and radar to capture all sorts of data. And they're doing an Indiegogo, so with enough funds, the team is hoping to get the CubeSat available quickly. Like, they got a whole plan. These things are fairly small, and their hope is to have the entire globe surrounded by these things. It's sort of like SETI times 1,000, but you have... And one of the prizes, I love this, contributors of $100 or more to the campaign will have instant access to the CubeSat data, and $500 will earn you the ability to give commands such as take a picture, zoom, or record video.
Are you thinking about it, Ron? Are you thinking about it?
I'm going to go back this thing so I can zoom in on y'all's windows and skylights. I will use my CubeSat for evil. They should call it the PubeSat. Ronster gets a hold of it. I think lots of people are going to point these things down more than up, I have to say. Honestly, I think some interesting privacy concerns will immediately arise. I'm sure they're working on safe fells against that, but fail safes, I guess. Oh boy, the root beer sneaking up on me with that kiss of banana.
You know, like when Google Earth first came out, everybody was like, "Oh my God, it's so cool!" You'd zoom into your house and check shit out. Of course, it was outdated. It might have been a year ago the picture was taken.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people would probably be interested to be able to zoom in their house and like see who's at their house.
Well, this is going to be much higher resolution. Of course, we all know that the cameras that Google's using for Google Map and Google Earth are much more high powerful than what we're seeing.
Right.
They can zoom in and see a license plate. That James Bond shit you've seen in movies exists. Yeah. They're just not doing that for legal reasons and privacy reasons, but these will actually be accessible to the public. Now, Google, it's long, not just by conspiracy theorists, but it's long been thought that Google is absolutely in cahoots, shall we say, with the government and the military, and they work together to, conceal certain things and airbrush certain things. There's been lots of stuff we've seen that's just been erased on Google Earth. Maybe we should do a whole separate story on that. I know we
did.
We touched a little bit about that. We were talking more about strange things that we saw, but it's probably due. I bet there's a whole slew of things that have been discovered since that show. It's been a couple years ago.
Sure. Yeah.
But we did talk about, we did some of the before and afters where you could see some sort of military activity going on in the middle of Colorado, and the later versions of Google Earth has it completely airbrushed out. That's fascinating stuff. And, it's not like some big clandestine mystery why that would happen. We don't want people knowing what our government's up to in our own backyard, and the government sure shit doesn't want anyone knowing what they're up to. But anywho, I really think this is going to be an interesting topic, and it's an interesting topic. It sort of ties into the drone thing. I was thinking about drone peeping as a phenomenon earlier. I don't know, maybe this story got me thinking about it. So I just Googled drone peeping or something like that, and here's a few of the many stories that came up, and just quick summaries. The first one was a woman in Devon, UK, is calling for legislation help after her and her husband were spied on whilst in their bedroom. They saw this thing watching them in an episode of Love Make, and they ran out to see where the drone flew to because the drone saw them see it. So it just, I guess, turned around when I was like, and they followed it, and there's just like a 50-year-old dude staring at them with the remote control. He had a funny look on his face. Now they're trying to take action, but there's not a lot they can do at this point. In Utah, a guy flew his drone over the neighbor's hot tub and caught his 16-year-old daughter that lived there fucking her boyfriend. And now they're trying to charge him with child porn. He bragged about it to his buddies and showed him the footage, and they reported it to the cops. So now they're trying to get him charged with making child porn, which is an interesting way of looking at it, but they're underage, they're fucking, and he recorded it.
Was it like, here, I'm going to email this to my fucking friends, or was it like, look at what the drone captured? Holy, I mean, like, I don't, there's a distinction there, I think.
Well, I think if he does get charged, he's going to hang out with Jared from Subway, and they're both going to get
lots of stories.
Well,
they're going to tell each other stories. Get each other off. Yeah, I don't know. I get the feeling from the way this story was told that it was, dude, scope out what I found when I was flying over my neighbor's house. And, it's tricky. First of all, he is obviously violating some sort of privacy if he's flying over and taking pictures of the neighbor in some sort of intimate act. That's a privacy violation, but he didn't necessarily know that she was 16, or maybe he did. I don't know. Guess we'll have to look into that. In Las Vegas, hotels are getting more and more reports of drone peeping. And this is genius because, if you're looking to watch people fuck, you couldn't really do any better than peeping in a Vegas hotel. I told you guys about my downtown Seattle hotel experience.
I was going to say, the new drones, like, some of them have actually goggles you could wear, right? And like see what the camera's seeing.
Oh my God.
And
just leaving your hands free.
All I can picture is the dirty fucking things Ron would do.
I'm taking you back to PAX, or we're taking you back to Comic-Con. All you have to do is open up that window, shove that little fucker out in the air, and just like...
Yeah, well, where I was, you didn't need I didn't even need binoculars to see people fucking.
Right,
where I was, those hotels are so close together.
2 feet from the window.
Yeah,
and you can imagine. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can only imagine in Vegas.
I've actually been thinking about getting one. I got a friend of mine that has one. And
Speaking of peeping,
Great time to drop that in.
actually,
Been thinking for about 5 minutes now, picking one of these up.
the first malicious thing I was going to do is actually come up and prank you, but
Well, that's,
but that's how his is you wear goggles and you can sit there and you could do that, or you could program it GPS style and just put like a certain, like I could almost like go in like just a little up your road, type in a GPS coordinates and have it like hover right on the third story window.
Yeah.
Just be right there.
oh, they're just going to get better and better,
And you can do it from your phone.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. And then if you want it to come back, just call back and it just comes back.
Here, boy. What'd you bring, Daddy? Yeah. Well, countless stories of teen daughters being watched in their bedrooms and sunbathing in their backyards. We've talked about a lot of these, and again, there's not a lot you can do because legislation just doesn't keep up with technology.
Real quick, what I was going to say is that that guy that has that, he actually had to go to his neighbors and ask permission, or at least awareness, saying that I have a drone. If it goes over your property, I'm sorry, it's not intentional, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But this year, and I think we might already
sex offender. He's got to go door to door and register his drone.
it's got a mind of its own.
I think it was just common courtesy.
Sure.
But,
That's smart.
I'm not sure if we talked about it or not, but I think it's under some kind of law that by the end of the year, if you have those, the professional kind of drones like that, you're supposed to have them registered.
Interesting.
That way, like for say, and a good example is like if you're up at your house flying one. I mean, they go quite a ways up in the air. They go like 300 to 400 feet up in the air, sometimes 500 feet. So like if you're near an airport and your drone accidentally gets sucked into a Boeing fucking plane motor and ends up, wrecking that plane.
Sure.
They could go back and go back to the registry to find out who actually owned that property. So I mean, it's actually a big thing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Washington anyway. So
interesting. Well, of course, now pics and videos of drone peeping are popping up on porn sites. So it's going to be a matter of time before these things are just everywhere, I guess. And then legislation will have to kick in just in time for X-ray vision to be invented or whatever the next fucking thing. It's kind of like the only way to truly be private anymore is going to be just by burying everything you have to hide, rendering it useless. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to see it? I don't know how we do that, but I think we'll get to a point, and I feel like we're heading there now, where the notion of privacy in general will just be a thing of the past, and we will all have adjusted, as we are adjusting slowly to this decrease in privacy over the years. I read in a news story that there are so many hidden cameras out there that statistically everyone on the planet has been recorded at least 10 times in some unknown intimate moment without their knowledge. 10 times. Voyeurism is what's causing drones to be so successful, and we talk about them all the time. We talk about this all the time. Sex is the thing that always drives the sale of new technology, and with stories like this popping up in every fucking town now, odds are your window will be next.
I was going to say, Chris, dude, you're in a prime example, man. A casino or a bar in a casino, they got cameras all over the place, man. You could be sitting there making out with your girlfriend at the table,
People
dude.
don't
Bam.
fuck at the casino bar.
Or do they?
I don't.
Do they?
They do.
Or
I
do
don't know, man. The thought of that is really unsettling.
Is there smoking sections outside?
It is unsettling. And we, famous people are getting eavesdropped and spied on all the time. I remember Erin Andrews, there's news on her, that sports commentator. She was filmed naked. She was changing her clothes in her hotel, and the video was uploaded online and went viral. The guy that filmed it was a stalker, and I think he just used one of those, they're like $100, $50 or so, and they reverse the optics of peepholes. So you just walk up to any peephole in a house, apartment, anywhere, and hold it up to it, and you can see in just like you would be able to see out looking on the other side. It just reverses the optics. Now she's suing the hotel for $75 million because, again, these laws aren't that clear. And I guess the hotel gave this guy, this random dude that was asking her room number, and they said, oh, yeah, she's here. She's in this room. And so he just walked up,
That's just stupid.
put the fucking peephole thing on, and filmed her. And you can see her fucking cooch and titties and ass up online now, just because she was changing in her fucking hotel room. I mean, can you imagine what you would see on the dickhead level, what you could see walking down any fucking given hotel, especially in Vegas, and just putting your eye onto that. But what a horrible fucking thought that simple little technology exists, that right now, if you have a peephole, if you're sitting in an apartment or hotel room or anywhere that's got a peephole, somebody could just be looking in on you with perfect resolution. And that could be connected to, and you know, without her consent, without her knowledge, all of a sudden she's naked on the internet. It's fucking crazy. And it's only going to get more. You know that we're going to invent some sort of X-ray shit that's going to be spying on people soon.
You know, I was just thinking FLIR. You know what a FLIR camera is, right? Mm-hmm. It's a transference of heat. It basically sees heat on a spectrum.
So it shows you like predator vision, basically.
Forward-looking infrared is what it stands for.
That's exactly what it stands for. Yeah, but I'm wondering if they figured out a way to maybe translate that into, like, because that'd be the closest way to get X-ray vision.
I'm sure it'll be an advancement of that technology, because all you will need is some sort of, smart software, right? Like we used to have with enhancing photos. You're not seeing the actual image. You have software that's trying to create the missing pieces. Yeah, so that's how it'll start, and then eventually we'll have true X-ray vision, and then you'll be seeing live video and pictures through walls. And
For Chris, anyway, that basically lets you see through walls. You can sit there and watch, like, say, two people sitting there at a dinner table having dinner through a wall with the FLIR. I was actually going to buy one when I was getting into the whole ghost hunting things years ago. Yeah, I'll buy one, but they're pretty damn expensive.
Speaking of satellites and snooping, take a look at this image I just sent you guys. This is a recent capture from Google Earth, and it's a picture of a gall-darn satellite flying really low. Oh, wow. Like, it seems like you would see this in the daytime sky, flying over like a jet. Nobody's really talking about this as being out of place, so it must just be a low-flying sat, biz as usual. But I thought it was a cool picture, for one. And again, strange that they're flying so low. I mean, in that Google picture, from the Google satellite, you can make out individual trees on the ground, and that lower satellite is well below that one. So they're up there.
If it's crashing, because they don't have they don't have like boosters and shit on them, do
they? Some of them, I think, do have repositioning abilities. Certainly, the military wants to, but yeah, I don't know if they got full-on rockets that can keep them in orbit. But they stay in orbit for fucking ever, for the most part. And, we got shit that's been up there since the '60s or '70s, I think.
Oh, totally, yeah. But
anyway,
I thought that was a barge in the water when I saw that photo. I was like, oh, what's this? Another fucking water story. Great.
Yeah, it does look like it's hard to really gauge on how high it is, but it looks lower than I've been in a plane. Looks like you could fly over that with the plane. I want to quickly get onto the monster of the week. Been slacking on this lately, but this is the strange but true tale of the Mount Owen Moa. So in 1986, an expedition descended on Mount Owen in New Zealand with the intention of exploring the vast network of caves that dwell deep beneath the mountain. Perfect setup for a horror movie. Sounds like maybe The Descent.
Yeah.
They bore a hole between two pre-existing caves, and they found this strange pile of mysterious bones, including this massive claw. The claw was fairly well preserved, and it even had flesh from still clinging to the bones.
Real fast, Ron. I'm sorry, buddy. You have to clean out your email inbox, dude.
Whoa, you guys don't have 30,000 unread messages?
No.
I know, I'm terrible with that.
What the fuck?
Terrible with it. It just gets overwhelming. My text, I need to clean up my texts, too. They pile up. That's why I miss some of your guys' shit.
Anyway. I only like 4,000. You got like, holy shit.
Well, anyway, ignore my laziness and zoom into the claw. It was fairly well preserved, like I said, and it had flesh on it. So they had no idea what this thing was. So they carefully put all the bones into a box and took it to be analyzed. And it was a mystery for quite a while. They knew the thing was ancient, and they knew it was at least 2,000 years old. But they finally figured out that what they had found was a 3,000-year-old pile of bones from an upland moa, a flightless bird that went extinct over 300 years prior. And the head of this bird looks something like a skeksis from the Dark Crystal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, most of the known fossils of this bird have been found in caves, so it seems to be a cave dweller for the most part. And it had a good long run. Nobody really knows why it went extinct. So, especially after seeing those fucking claws, and at around 3.5 feet tall on average, the upland moa was actually the smallest of all the moa species. Well, crazy to think what's lurking down there, the caves below. Like, whoever's listening right now, think about wherever you are, look down. Right now, there is likely something below you just waiting to be discovered. It's an interesting thought. I'd love to know, like, what's not just 30, 40, 50 feet, but thousands of feet down, you know? Them shits is ancient, son. I got to send you a picture of this. Don't make fun of my inbox again. This is one of the larger ones, taken next to an explorer who looks like some sort of monk that would have hung out with Aleister Crowley. That's a fucking bird, son.
That's a raptor.
Fucking dinosaurs, man. Yeah. They were big. They were extra big. I got another. Let's get on to what you guys got before I go on.
There's a pretty cool story about this, supposedly this wormhole that opened up in South Africa.
A wormhole?
A wormhole. And the reason why they call it a wormhole is because it's actually green. It was taken at night. There's not really a lot to it. I'll send you 2 pictures. They're both off of separate Twitters.
Okay, now who's calling it a wormhole?
There's some speculation. There's some like a genius that thinks it's coming from a stadium, like a stadium light, like they tinted a giant spotlight. And you're going to have to zoom in a little bit on these. They're not as, I don't know, fabulous as the website ones, but they're basically screen captures off of Twitter pages.
Yeah, I can see why someone would think that's being projected.
Well, the problem is that the second one isn't around a stadium.
Yeah.
So
well, it's definitely huge.
Yeah, no, it's very. It kind of looks like a giant spotlight.
Well, actually, the one
from the upper atmosphere.
The first one you sent is interesting because it's not reflecting off a cloud. Like the second one looks like it could be bouncing off of a cloud, but in the wider shot, you definitely see that's against sky. That ain't that ain't
right.
supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's not supposed to happen. So it's still up in the air. Like I said, that was the explanation that a lot of people are coming up with. This is actually Cape Town.
Yeah.
It's a city that's in South Africa. So I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah. Well, look to see what's going to be coming out of that fucking hole.
No.
Scary. John Mark, what you got?
Well, guys, yesterday I was having sex with a cow, see?
Oh, go on.
And... just kidding, guys. It's me.
So I didn't really have time to come up with anything good. I found I found a story that I thought was kind of cute.
Okay.
But and I don't have the particulars in front of me since I'm driving. But there's a cat there's a Safeway in Portland, right? Mm-hmm. And there's this cat that's a neighbor cat that he just goes and he hangs out at this Safeway. He like shows up there and just like walks in the door, like hang out on the pile of soda boxes. He'll like go over to the fucking Starbucks counter and just chill and like greet people at the door and stuff. And he's got a little thing on his collar, I guess, that's etched in that says, I can't remember what his name is right now. It's like, my name is so-and-so. Don't worry, my owners know I'm here. I just like to hang out here and play.
That's awesome.
It was pretty goddamn cute. I wish I had it in front of me, but like I said, I'm driving. But.
That's awesome until some fucker kidnaps the cat because they want to have the famous cat for a weekend.
The Safeway cat? Yeah. No, that would suck.
That would suck.
It's like the hitchhiking robot. How it's all fun and games until someone destroys it.
Yeah, that is true.
America.
Chris,
Safeway kitty.
Chris, can we talk about it? I know we discussed a little bit last at the end of the episode. We weren't recording, but you said over the weekend you're going to go out and get a little bit of strange pussy this weekend, and you ended up coming home with a what?
I got myself. I know what you're trying to get me to say here. I know what you're trying to get me to say here, Lyle. I did get a new cat though. Yeah.
Well, good for you, man.
Yeah.
How's the cat adapting to the other cats?
She hisses like a fucking cunt.
Well, yeah. You know.
It's just a cat affair, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
They'll get used to each other. It's all good.
That's just what they do. Yeah, you got like a 5 or 6 year older?
Yeah, a little 6-year-old black kitty.
Older.
She it was one of those moments where I walked in, they were having a big event and they're trying to move a bunch of animals. And the counselor took me back and he tried to like shoo me past her little cage. And I'm like, what about this one? He's like, oh, this one doesn't like people and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, "Roo." And it looked at me right in the eyes. It was like, meow.
But I like you, meow.
Yeah. I was like, fuck. I bet they tell everybody that. As
Yeah, you got fucking trained. All right, Cat. If you want your treat.
Supposedly black cats are the highest percentage of being put down than any other cat.
I heard that too.
Yeah,
They're the last to get adopted, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, and
superstitious.
it's fucked. Everybody should go get a black cat right
I
now.
know. I've had so many
Right
black
now.
cats, and they're all great.
Yeah.
People are fucking
know.
weird. What the fuck? Why would anybody not want something because it's... I mean, that is like one of the
It's a
stupidest...
superstitious holdover is what it
Yeah,
is.
it's got to be.
But are we still worrying about breaking mirrors? Like, I don't feel like... I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of mirrors get broken and people don't really freak out about it. And
I still don't go under ladders.
well,
Still try not to step on cracks.
there's a lot of reasons to avoid walking under a ladder. That's sort of one of those self-fulfilling prophecies because you're likely to cause something bad to happen walking under a ladder. Not a lot of clearance under there, and you should probably just go around. But, I don't know, black cats... and-
It's 2015 and people still think that rock and roll music is of the devil and fucking Motley Crue's gonna make you fucking be possessed. God
Motley
damn it.
Crue. That's what's funny. It was always there are plenty of satanic bands, but it was always like Kiss and Motley Crue and
AC/DC.
all these fucking bands that are singing about, sex and party and that everyone thought was so fucking satanic. It's like, yeah, they're just kind of party songs. They're,
No such thing. I mean, even bands that are saying like, yes, we're satanic, like Ghost, it's just, to me, it's a fucking joke, So,
well, Ghost is a total joke, but there are bands that definitely claim to be satanic, but they're accidental jokes for the most part, like
Yeah,
those, like
that's
some of
not-
those
that's not
Norwegian,
real.
some of those guys, and I like some of those bands.
They're just psychopaths.
But listening to some of them are, yeah, for sure. But most of them seem like teddy bears, that'd be awkward at the high school dance,
Well,
but they're like, "Herr Satan."
I
It's like,
think
oh,
the
honey, you
majority-
need a hug.
Yeah, I think the majority of the real proclaimed Satan bands, they actually come out saying that no, it's a genre thing. Get over yourself.
Well, it's horror. Is Stephen King a Satanist because he makes scary movies? To me, heavy metal music was always just the horror movie version of tunes. And I think Black Sabbath, that's the whole point. They started the band. They named it after the movie Black Sabbath, the horror movie, and they're like, why can't we be the horror films of rock and roll? And thus, heavy metal, she was born. Boy, I got a lot of emails. I wanted to do this one Reddit story. I don't think we're going to have time. Let's go ahead and I'll save it. If we end up having time at the end, I'll save that. But let's see. How should we do this? Because I think we're going to need to...
Yeah, just down and dirty. Just get in there.
Actually, I think maybe...
What are we talking about, Lyle?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Just spit on it first and just go for it.
All right, we're at 45 minutes.
I
I think let's do news first, and then we'll end with email.
I just wanted to say
Is
that.
it Mobug? Oh, no, go ahead, Lyle.
Oh no, I'm just proud of myself. I got my hair's long enough I could put it back in a samurai.
Oh, interesting.
Soon it'll be in a full ponytail.
It's funny. I just found a videotape. I know I've shown you, Chris, a couple of years ago, but I found a videotape of me from 1995 where my hair is down, below my teats.
Oh yeah.
But what's funny is that my sister-in-law at the time put my hair up in a bun. So I was sitting there for like 20 minutes on the tape with a man bun, 20 years before people were man bunning.
Yeah, always a trendsetter.
It's so fucking funny because they're all laughing at how ridiculous it looks, and yet that is the style now.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's the new thing.
It's just like I look like a normal dude now. Anywho,
F.A.
Am I here?
greetings. Did you hear us? We've been having some weird... Oh,
yes.
let me fix my microphone. It's definitely sliding down. My tape is wearing out here. I'm going to have to retape it soon.
Nothing but the best equipment in the Spacepod.
Kickstarter
Keep it
going.
flying straight.
I was gonna
5
say,
years.
Musician's friend. They probably. I think they have deals where like for $20 you get like 4 mics in.
Can't afford it.
I'll tell you who's a magician.
Wow!
I'll tell you who's a musician's friend. Booze
Whiskey!
and tape.
It's true.
Can't leave the house without tape. Well, welcome, Woundy. I'm glad to have you on the show for the first time in a long time.
First time ever.
First time ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why you weren't in the fucking context. I thought for sure we had you on at one point. That's bizarre. That seems weird to me.
The only time was with Chris and you when we were doing show notes.
See, bitch, I told you we did that.
Other than that, I've never been a part of the
Chris
podcast.
and I were talking on the phone before the show, and it was weird because Dollface was getting my face being a weirdo, accusing me of not talking to anybody but pretending to talk to somebody. Christopher and I were texting, and then John Mark was texting, and then we were also having a conversation on Facebook.
You sounded really out of it.
Very disoriented. I know. Chris was like, "What's going on?" And then I hung up. I'm like, okay. Well, actually, I think Minxie hung up, to be fair.
I think it's one of those things where sometimes people get overloaded with too much technology. Like when you're on Facebook and then people are texting you and you're on the phone, and then you just get kind of overwhelmed sometimes.
Too much
I don't know.
technology. Well, anyway, on the last episode, I teased that Moses, with all his shares and great stories and whatnot we use so often on the show, that he was like the fifth space podder. Well, that was a slip of the drunken tongue because, of course, we have already dubbed you that highly prized moniker. So I must apologize for bumping you out there for a moment. I do blame the booze, but in my defense, I also did claim at first that Moses was the sixth Beatle. So I think the reason I subconsciously did that was I knew you were there in my heart all along.
Good save, Ron. Good
I was right the first time.
Yeah.
But everyone is back in their proper place. Oh, no, hang on. I'm getting a text from Lauren.
Don't get confused on me, big guy.
It says, "Hey, guys, what the fuck is this? I thought I was the fifth." No. I tease.
Oh, shit.
No. So we are glad to have you on board here for News Quiz, and Chris promises it's going to be a doozy.
Oh, it's a good one.
Oh, wait. Before we move on, Woundy, I have to know. Everyone needs to know.
That's the worst.
Oh,
Remember,
God.
we decided that was what you only call her Woundy when you're mad at her.
I love Woundy. I will never. I'm sorry. For me, it's always going to be Woundy. But I need to know. Back to front or?
A
I
lady
knew
doesn't
this was
poop.
gonna come up. A lady doesn't poop. Yeah, sure.
No, wait, no.
Okay.
She's from Canada. She probably uses a bidet.
Is that a Canadian thing?
No.
Do you know about
I just emphasized the A.
Bidet.
For a
Oh, bidet.
European thing?
What is
I
that?
guess
A bidet?
it all depends on what you're doing, really.
See,
Because
go
at the end of the
on.
day, if you're just peeing, then it really doesn't matter.
Well, that's true.
but-
Girls have to wipe no matter what.
Pooping, yeah, well, we're kind of stuck. There's no jiggle room there. But with pooping, I don't know. I guess there's a UK comedian called Phil Jupitus, and he talked about as long as you're within the realm of the Biffin's Bridge,
The
You're
Biffin's
fine.
Bridge. Is that what they call the taint up there?
The grundle?
yeah, it's like
No, don't get disgruntled.
it's like it's the flap of skin between your ass and your balls.
Okay.
The Biffin's Bridge. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
As long
kind of
as
what
you're within
everyone's
that,
telling
like,
me is that you don't wipe
safety
all
zone.
the way front, but I don't know. Why risk it is my thing, and I don't want to keep
Right.
flogging a dead horse here, but yeah.
I'm sorry, but my jewels they dangled down. So if I miss that skip on the little, you know what I mean. I missed
We are
that
gonna
little
get
bit.
to the official poll results here. At
Yes,
the end
we
of
did
the
take a
evening.
poll.
I hope so.
But I figured we kind of wanted to get you on early enough so you didn't have to get fired from your job by missing it.
Yeah,
so
so we're gonna end.
shift
We're doing things a little differently. We're putting you right in the middle, but anyway, let's get. So wait a minute. Are you saying that it just depends on the day?
Well, no.
Don't be ashamed. Ron, you know what?
Actually-
Let me tell you right now, you're a goddamn wipe shamer. You are. Wipe shame. You make us
You're
back
right.
to fronters feel like less than you. And that's
You're
not-
right, but I'm not ashamed of being a wipe shamer. You can't shame a wipe shamer.
I
Don't
feel
shame my
like this needs to be
shame.
a thing on Instagram or something. Wipe shaming. Come on.
Yes.
Wipe shaming. Hashtag wipe shaming.
I put that
well,
on my
everybody-
notes. Wipe
You do
shamer.
kinda-
Everybody that I've asked, you're in the minuscule number, Ron. It seems like majority of people are front to back.
Yes,
Yeah, front to back.
that's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Wait, you're saying that? Well, I'm a front to backer.
Oh no, I meant the other way around. Oh God,
bitch.
I'm so
Yeah.
retarded.
Because nobody else
No,
stands up
like,
when they wipe.
No, you lift your ass
Yeah,
up.
no.
Okay, I will
I've
concede
never
that maybe
heard
I'm
of
weird for
anybody
standing up and
standing.
wiping.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
concede
not
that.
necessarily
I have no
stand.
way of knowing. I don't watch people in the bathroom. Not men, anyway. I have no way of knowing if I'm weird there or not. Maybe that's a separate poll for a separate occasion, but
You know, now I think about it, I think the reason why I do that is because I spent so many years in construction and outhouses where I just have to get off.
That's fucking fair. That's
Yeah.
legit.
That is
That might be it.
mhm.
I always
Ron,
and I put 2 layers of paper towels down. So,
you gotta hover.
You got-
Whenever I go to a festival or like I go to a place that you know that it's super sketch, you gotta hover, man.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, you
It's
owe it to
gross.
yourself. I still don't feel like I have a definitive answer from you, though. When it comes to pooping, where do you stand?
She doesn't want to get shamed.
Keep it between the cheeks, man. As long as it doesn't touch the front.
I feel
it's
like Chris
good.
is trying to derail this. I feel like he sees where this is going. He wants to hijack it. I feel like you are a front to
I
back.
disagree. I think she's on the other side. We should make a bet.
I'm back to front.
Yes, bitch.
Without you got to remember, it cannot touch the Biffin's Bridge.
The
It can
Biffin's
only
Bridge.
go as far,
Yeah.
not any further.
All right.
Touching the
Because then you're
Biffin's
getting
bridge.
into like frontal female area, and that's just gross. So
Well,
you know, you gotta keep yourself clean. Use a wet wipe.
I'm sorry you
know.
couldn't stick around for news quiz, Woundy, but all right. You're right, Chris. I am a wipe shamer. I guess if I want an honest answer, I'm going to have to learn to accept people for the fuck ups that they are. But I don't know that I believe that I'm in the minority. But we'll let the poll speak for itself. We'll see where that lies. It was changing last I saw it, and I haven't checked it in a couple of days. So I'm curious if
I
it.
wonder if it's a regional thing.
Boy, I don't know.
Regional?
I don't know. I give up. Let's get on to some news quiz, though.
Word to your mother. Okay,
Let's wipe this story away.
Let's wipe it away. Clean slate, if you will. Okay, you'll be playing for some people that have left comments on our Facebook posts. Tell you the order you're playing and whom you're playing for here. John Mark, you can start us off tonight, and you're playing for Katie Sergeef. And I'm not entirely sure how Katie pronounces that last name. Sergeef?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is.
Good
but I'm
day,
sure-
Sir Jeef. I said good day.
If somebody who has a really awful last name, as long as you're trying, that's all that matters.
Well, this is Katie Harris, now Katie Sergeef. This is we've had her father. This is Brad
yeah.
Harris's daughter. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Recent name change. That's why the curious. I mean, know why. I just don't know how to fucking say it. Lyle, you'll be second. You're playing for John Schultz.
All right, let's do it.
Roster. You'll be third. You'll be playing for Dustin Snyder. Dustin left us one of the best fucking comments on our Facebook I've ever read. Can't wait to get to it. Effie, you'll be going third. And in the event of a tie, Cordell Grosschadel will be going home with the radar station.
We have some very interesting
I'm playing
names
for
in our
myself.
audience.
Of course you're playing for yourself, fool. Represent.
Score.
All right, it's going to be...
Hang
you
on.
don't already...
Before I got to... One last time. Let me push my mic back here. Gravity is working against me.
You need to get some good duct tape, man.
I know. It's fucking...
Got some duct tape for you.
Looks hilarious. I wish I could...
Kickstarter for duct tape.
I'm seriously going to take a picture.
Maybe we can get duct tape from the real red green.
Well, are you using duct tape or electrical tape?
Red Green. Is he still around?
That's the problem. Is it electrical tape or is it duct tape?
It's everything. I'm going to take a picture. It's mostly masking at this point. I'm going to take a picture, and maybe that'll be the podcast image of the week. They'll tuck it and be like the Sarah McLachlan commercial.
The next,
Oh, I got to donate money to those poor motherfuckers.
the next art show you have, I will donate you a brand new roll of industrial fucking super fucking tape.
That's all I'm
Donate
asking.
you, son.
That's all I'm asking. Donate me. All right, let's rock.
Put up innings with the show, dude. It's so strong.
All right. Let's see. You need 3 out of 4 questions right today to win the prize. Question 1. If you are in Moscow and you're taking the subway to get around, you can find one of the ticket kiosks in a station that will allow you to pay for your fare by doing this in front of the machine.
Do it. Do it now.
Is it A? By flashing the machine.
Oh,
Look at
yeah.
my boobies. They're so big and plump.
Very nice.
Is it B? By doing 30 squats in under 2 minutes in front of the machine.
Look at my squats. They're huge.
Or is it C, by holding up your phone and showing it your cat photos?
Look at my kitties. They're so purry.
Chris, you would win. You would
One
win,
of these-
Chris.
I know, I would get fucking free fares all day long. Okay, so what is it? What's going to get you a free fare if you go to a certain kiosk in Moscow? On
Moscow.
the subway.
I'm going
John
with
Mark.
the cat photos because I want that to be true.
Okay. Lyle,
I am going to have to go with the squats.
you're going with the squats.
I think so. I think a little bit of exercise, a little...
Let's
it's
just-
Going to pump you up.
Mother Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Look at my
Monster.
squats.
Wow, tough. I'm going to go with A just because I like that notion. Even though that seems fucking ridiculous now that I say it out loud. Oh, well, I'm sticking with it.
And show the kiosk some square titties.
All right. Motherfucker.
Effie?
With it being Putin and all, I am gonna go with the squats because that guy is
Make Mother
crazy.
Russia strong. Yeah.
All right. Question 2. One of my favorite stories in a while. I certainly hope it's not fake. I did not double check. In Germany.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just so good. In Germany, a 4-alarm fire broke out at a certain business during business hours. The entire business and its patrons were evacuated, save for one man who refused to leave until firefighters fucking drug him out. What was the establishment, and why didn't the man evacuate? Was it A, Spielen Pets, a Germany-based PetSmart, basically? The man in question refused to leave until all of the animals were safely evacuated.
Oh, that's very sweet.
That's the Sarah McLachlan
What?
song playing in the
No,
background.
no, no. Well, you know what pops in my head is what pops in my head is Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure.
He's running out with the snakes.
That's exactly what it's like. That's funny.
Yeah.
Is it B? It was a German McDonald's, and the man refused to leave until his order of 6 cheeseburgers was motherfucking completed.
God.
God, that sounds good right now.
Only that's like in an American thing.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's worldwide, I think.
Or was it C? It was a German sex shop. The man refused to leave until the climax of a movie he was watching, which was Throbbing Hood.
Oh, I can respect that. You don't want the blue balls. Anything worse
You're
than blue
committed to
balls,
the
though, is red
bathroom, right?
balls. You got to get out of that building, son.
John Mark?
Oh man, that's tough. God, I'm gonna have to go with A. It's probably C though. God damn it.
I love it when you do that. It pleases me. Lyle?
I'm gonna deduce it and go with C. Because why would you not?
Makes perfect sense, yeah.
Why would you not?
Okay, Monster.
Pee Wee
Yeah.
Herman, remember we talked? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward the pet boy. I think I'm going to go with Lyle. I think I'm going to go with C.
Going with the porn shop.
Yeah, you got to finish. You're no good. Half
Just like Pee Wee.
baked.
Effie?
Oh, no.
C. Let's go C. Why not?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be weird news quiz without the weird part.
That's fair.
That's true.
All right. Question 3. Last week, an ISIS propaganda website was hacked, and instead of the normal holiday cheer they've been slinging these days, this was put up on the website. Was it A, an animated GIF of a steaming pile of poop, complete with flies circling?
Did it come out of a sheep?
Is it B, an advertisement for Viagra?
Okay.
Or is it C, the animated intro to the My Little Pony cartoon?
Oh God.
Oh.
Somebody hacked the ISIS, one of the ISIS websites, and put this on it.
Yeah.
John Mark?
By somebody they mean anonymous.
Let's go with My Little Pony.
My little pony.
Safe bet eternally.
My little pony.
Lyle?
Effie had one.
Here's the and allow.
No, it's part of the news. I think what was it? Anonymous was actually sworn to completely kind of fuck with them, ISIS. in
Yeah.
general.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with the poop.
Hey,
Thank you for making the stinger easy choice tonight.
Ron?
Oh, I am leaning toward My Little Pony.
Okay. Effie?
I'm gonna go with the Viagra commercial.
We got a fucking family game here.
I just,
No.
yeah.
Everyone picked something. Okay.
You guys are a
last
bunch of
question here.
boners.
I sent you guys over a photo a few moments ago on the Facebook Messenger.
Yes, I've been enjoying it.
This photo popped up in a story I was reading this week, caught my attention. Ron, would you be so kind as to describe what this looks like to the listeners at home?
Well, unfortunately, my first thought is this is the dildo for the most masochistic of masochists.
No.
Or
Dune.
sadists, if they're giving it.
Do you remember the sandworms from Dune?
It is very sandwormy.
Tremors.
Looks like a little club shaped like, I don't know, could be shaped like a dildo-y, half cigar, half bowling pin, with a lot of spikes on it. Little teeth-looking things.
What is the object in the photo in question? Is it A, an ancient armored worm that lived 500 million years ago?
Oh, that's close to what Lyle was thinking.
Is it B, leaked Sarlacc pit monster concept art for the new Star Wars movie?
Okay, that actually sort of does jive. Yeah, okay.
Or is it C, a punishment device that is to be used on men in Uganda that take part in rape? Use your imagination there, big guy.
Does it go
I have been.
the reason?
I have been. I am present.
Back to front with this thing, or
A multi-purpose tool.
ouch.
John Mark?
I'm gonna go with the armored worm.
Ooh, okay. Lyle?
You know, it's only 2 weeks away.
Sure this time?
I'm going. No, I'm gonna go with the fucked up countries and the fucked up things, and I'm gonna go see it.
Fuck that country. You fucked up countries better listen. You can learn something from America by watching our news and how we act in Walmart on Black Friday. Countries are fucked up.
It's going in somebody's hole. It's gonna be pretty. Not gonna be pretty.
Anti-rape tool in Uganda. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Ronster?
You going to get that in my ass?
Oh no.
I think I'm going to go with that. It's probably the worm, but boy, I'd love to see a rapist get this up their fucking ass.
Wow. Well, we'll drone it for you.
Pain. Yeah.
F.
Potentially used as a baseball bat, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how large it is. I'm going to go with the worm.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm with John Mark on that one.
All right, let's go over the answers here. See how y'all did.
Alrighty.
Question 1. If you're in Moscow and you're taking the subway to get around, you can find a kiosk that'll give you a free ticket if you fucking do 30 squats in under 2 minutes.
Look at my squats. Look out down, and then I go back up, and then go back down.
Your pathetic thighs.
Going to be late, sorry. You call those
He
thighs?
wanted 100,
You
but he
fucking
only got
pussy.
30.
Look at me.
Get to the hamstring.
Come closer, you fucking pussy. Your
You can
hamstrings.
bounce quarters off my ass.
I wouldn't snort cocaine off your pussy, hamstring. And the 1, and the 2, and the 3.
All right. Lyle and Effie got that correct for a point of pop. Question 2. In Germany, a 4-alarm fire broke out at a certain business during business hours. The entire staff and everybody inside was evacuated, save for one guy who refused to fucking leave until the firefighters drug him out. It was indeed a German sex shop. The man refused to leave until the climax of the movie he was watching, which was titled Throbbing Hood. Yes. He's quoted as he was being drug out, shouting, "I paid $7.50 for this."
Amen,
Does he
brother.
not know what the internet is? Like, free porn, man. Somebody give him the intervention.
I think some guys must get off on getting off in one of those places. Oh, you know what I mean? Like they're attracted to the idea of going into a public place and spanking it.
The first time I went into a porn shop and I walked back and saw those little booths, and my little mind started putting the pieces together.
Uh-huh.
I saw little tissue holder and the
And the
fucking
stains
waist.
on the carpet.
Like it was like, huh. I had to get out of there.
So you immediately got in.
Hey, Ron.
But Ron,
What are you doing
would you
here?
hover or would you sit? Would you hover or would you?
It was like seeing the scary. It was like seeing the scary deers, wasn't it?
I get on my knees. We've talked about this.
Just licking the ground.
Totally naked on my knees.
Ron, Lau, and Effie got that correct. Question 3. Last week, an ISIS propaganda website was hacked, and instead of the normal holiday cheer they sling, this was put up on their website. It was indeed an advertisement for Viagra.
Oh, interesting. I guess that would offend them.
Yeah.
Sucks all.
If you got that correct for another point, she's teetering on victory here.
Damn it.
Oh, batting 1,000 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not doing so hot, big guy.
I think the fridge guy.
Is that
I was just talking to Brent. I ran into Brent at Alex's show. We were talking about
I thought I put it on. I thought I put it on hold.
talking about how Adam's been making guest appearances on the show
I
lately.
don't understand. My name's Adam Eagle.
By the way, I thought Lyle's Adam Eagle was spot on that last episode.
I don't think you understand.
Oh, bless his heart. Missed that guy. All right, where are
And
we?
he misses you.
it was Santa talking? Jesus Christ.
Well, hold on.
Question 4, the photo I sent over. This is indeed an ancient armored worm that lived 500 million years ago. They found some recent fossils of it, apparently, and it's fucking fascinating. So, yeah.
Boy, what a deadly looking thing. Right
John
out of Dune
John
or
Mark.
Star Wars.
John Mark and Effie got that correct. That puts Effie at 4 fucking points. You're a winner, bitch.
Damn.
Put yourself in the prize log, Effie.
Damn.
Damn.
Very nice. Congrats. Hope you enjoy the new issue of Radar Station. It's a pretty one.
I'm excited.
It is a pretty one. Send those worms to fucking Uganda.
Yeah, hey, I think I'm onto something, right?
Yeah, I like a good rape torture.
I bet you do.
I said that wrong. Do not take that out of context.
Don't think you did.
Hey, you're the editor, so what? What?
Go ahead, Wendy.
They did have those like backwards condoms with the shark teeth.
Was that a true
That they
story? I
were
remember
trying-
seeing that going around. I never knew if that was actually
They would
employed.
put that in the backwards, like insert it into the woman, and it was supposed to deter.
Yeah, it was like an anti-rape.
Yeah, a real life version of
I don't
Teeth,
know.
the movie Teeth.
I saw it on multiple websites, so I'm going to assume that maybe there's a bit of truth.
Yeah.
I was going to say John Mark. No, I've heard stories like in the back. Well, in the yeah, where he's ventured is that women will razor blades up inside.
Back where you ventured, John Mark. Remember that? Back where you ventured
Yeah, sure.
So,
in
here's so much, more-
Bangladesh. You mean?
and yeah, and
Ventured.
no,
I like
I'm
that.
serious. That like people.
I don't know about that.
No, I know. I don't know about it, but I'm.
Yeah.
You
You
haven't
might
heard
have
of it?
ventured in the wrong part of
You were
Bangladesh.
young.
Big
You were
place.
young. So, but if you went there now, you'd probably hear stories. They would like put razor blades up there, and like if a guy tried to rape him, it would
It just doesn't sound fun for anybody.
Yeah, that sounds like lose-lose. Although, so does that
I suppose
teeth.
it's possible.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. That reverse condom, because it just pops up there, and all they feel is, well,
Really?
or something.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know how
just
it
feel
works, I
the
guess.
rubber part. They don't feel the teeth part
Teeth.
because the teeth part are in the inside, and then the
Ron doesn't know how
Yeah.
penises and vaginas work. We have to break it down.
No, God no. Tell me it's not
Ew.
ribbed for her pleasure. That'd be
But
fucked
we
up.
need Adam Eagle to talk about it.
You guys don't know about this thing that got over where John Mark ventured? Well, we got to get moving on to some emails and some Facebook stuff. Woundy, we're done a little bit earlier than I thought, so why don't you just hang out as long as you can?
cool. I can be here till about just after 9.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, we're looking good. Chris, you want to give us, you had some best of Facebooks this week. You want to share what those are?
Yeah, I do. Let's see here. Okay. From, I still don't know if it's geriatrics or geriatrics.
It's got to be geriatrics.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Okay, geriatrics says, this is a post she left on our wall that just said, "The office smelled like wieners today, and I thought of you fellas."
Oh,
Wow, interesting. Well, we got
I like
4
that,
on the show.
Yeah.
Smelled like wieners. Yeah.
Let's see.
They
Katie
do have a
Sergeev
note.
says, "The way you set up the last text from Chris at the beginning of the episode, I thought it was going to say he was leaving the show."
Yeah, I was hoping that at least a few people might think
Little
that's
misdirection.
something serious. We had a little fun with that one.
yeah.
I told Chris, okay, I'm going to do a little something fun on the beginning of the show. Just sit there and shut up until I say it's okay to talk.
Speak when spoken to.
Yeah, I thought it worked fairly well. I think there's a few people out there that bought it.
Cheryl
I
Martin.
thought he got into a car accident or something. And then
Oh God! I hope we didn't bum people out too much.
No jinxing.
This could be my last night. Okay. Cheryl Martin says, funny episode as per. How do you spell the shortened replacement for usual? US question mark? USE question mark? You get where I'm going, right? Anywho, I go front to back like a fucking lady.
Yes.
Yes. Who's this?
Absolutely. Fucking lady. She's a fucking lady.
I'm taking her on a date. Who is this?
This is
Cheryl
Cheryl Martin. She may let you do that.
Yeah, I remember seeing that comment, and I think I responded something to her. I don't remember what, but God bless. And, the way God intended it. I'm sorry.
John,
Wipe shame.
John, you wipe shamer. You
And by the way, I have always
just gotta
struggled.
be clean.
I have
Like,
always.
there's nothing wrong.
You can't have a shaky hand or wipe with a claw or anything.
Oh, what's wrong? It's fucking wrong. But I have always struggled with how to shorten the word "use," shorten it to "use," spelling wise. It's tough. I usually go with "ush" for my own liking, but.
John Schultz says, I forget that everyone doesn't have a bidet.
So he goes all over the fucking place.
Yeah, he's just like,
But
eat it, water.
wet. Mm-hmm.
Like a little sprinkler system for your balls.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the 3 shells. 3 shells.
Say that again, Lyle.
The 3 shells over in the Orient.
3
They use-
shells. I don't know what that
How
is.
they work, but it's
The
a
Orient.
thing. It's a thing, and I think they outdid us by probably 20 years of technology.
Is it? What is it?
3 shells.
It's
No,
from
it's just-
Demolition Man.
No,
It's from Demolition Man.
He doesn't know
3
how to use
seashells.
Seashells.
I've never
Okay,
seen
anyway.
Demolition Man.
Have you never seen Demolition Man?
No, I don't even know what that is.
You've never listened to The Refused and you've never seen Demolition
Exactly.
Man?
What is wrong with you?
I've heard The Refused.
it's abducted.
It's not the Refused. It's just Refused. So no, you've never heard Refused.
I've heard. You guys, listen. I'm still listening to the Nirvana.
Hey, I'm
No, I've
still
heard
on that-
Refused. I know the Shape of Punk to Come stuff, but
Yeah,
I didn't
okay.
recognize what you're sending me. But yeah, I don't know that. Is it a movie?
Oh, dude, there's an alien that fucking adopted you in an orchard and put you with the you that's not you. We want the real.
It could be that I'm so fucking dead tired. But say it
No.
again. What is it?
Demolition Man.
It sounds familiar, but what is
It's
it?
fucking Stallone and Snipes.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I-
I've absolutely not seen it.
I
don't
haven't
watch
either.
movies like
It's
that
okay, Ron.
Wesley Snipes,
I
Stallone.
It's so good.
I've seen very few Snipes features.
America's Darling.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock.
That's all right.
I'll check it out though if you guys recommend it. But,
Yeah, I
I'm
bet you
down.
will.
But what is the fucking seashells thing?
It's about how they wipe their ass in the future. Nobody really knows, but you use 3
It's just a joke.
Oh, all right.
Right.
Well, I'll fucking watch him shits.
Dustin Snyder left. We were talking about the wiping, and he left spiral isn't an option, and he used a series of emojis. That's just the little pointer finger, like up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. And I thought it was clever, so I left a response that said, that looks more like the movement for a Hadouken. And he said in response, one-upping me, I think you mean I'm duking.
Nice. No, hey. Slow clap just happened.
Awesome.
There's a slow just happened. That was awesome.
Very, very well done.
Nice.
Fucker. Justin Kaiser says, what kind of animal wipes back to front? Damn, guys. Fold a toilet paper and go front to back. Let's act like the evolved humans we are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He followed that up with my coworker and I are cracking up today. And lastly, Cordell Groschadel says, I'm also a sitter and I wipe from back to front, lol. So even your wipe shaming didn't, sway some of our voters.
No, I would hope that it wouldn't. I mean, let your freak flag fly, as they say.
Oh my God, you asshole! Even in that you're shaming, even in acknowledging that you're shaming.
I will never fucking accept this. I'm sorry. But speaking of which, let's get to the results of our poll. I'm dying to know.
Okay, I was waiting to pull it up to the as quick to. I don't know where I'm going with this. Hold on.
I love it. I love it when someone's just desperately searching for the words. I think we're all slightly. Everybody I've talked to today is having difficulty pulling that perfect thought, that perfect word. I think we're all still a little hungover from Thanksgiving.
I feel it.
It's tryptophan.
Struggle's real.
We have it's a large margin It's not as large.
Large Marge?
63% of people that voted claim they wipe front to back.
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
I don't feel
63%. That's not as high as I'd like, but I will take it. I will take it.
You should give an option for like both,
Spiral.
because that's kind of where I sit.
Yeah, I do like to spiral. I can appreciate a good spiraling. I think I do a spiral every now and again. Boy, I'm going to check. But still, that would keep you in one spot for the most part. You have to have a point of origin to spiral around. So
Yeah, as I said, you keep it between the cheeks before the Biffin Bridge. It's the spiral. Yeah,
Biffin Bridge.
that makes sense.
you orbit.
All right,
Call her a Horbit?
Horbit. That's a short whore. Short hairy toad whore. Horbit. Well, let's get on to some emails. We got a lot of them, and I really want to try to hit them all. This is from Kathy in Tennessee. She says, "Hi, guys. Love the show. Been listening since I was a senior in high school. And at the moment, I'm finishing up my master's, and I plan to become an English professor."
I feel so old.
Oh my God, we've been doing this show long enough for someone to get their fucking masters.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
And she said, "Naturally, when I heard Ron mention that he was at least kicking around this idea, my ears perked up. As someone who has spent the past 5 years going through all the requirements, I can say that, one, Ron, you will breeze right through it, as I have seen countless morons sailing on by, and you, sir, are no moron."
And you, sir, fit right into that demographic.
I'm glad she finished it that way. Thank you, Kathy. I find that compliment to be exemplary. She goes on to say, two, most of the professors I have been taught by are great on paper and a complete bore in the classroom. You, on the other hand, would make a very entertaining and captivating teacher, so I strongly encourage you to follow through with this endeavor. Very kind words, Kathy, and I am still considering that plan, although
There you go.
it is a plan. She goes on to say, "The real reason I wrote is to tell you a kind of semi-sweet story about my grandfather." This is pretty incredible. There's an N in there. "He and I were very close, and he was even more of a parent to me than my parents were most of the time. He adored me, and I adored him. We were just pals. He never let me beat him in checkers, though. He was ruthless that way. Anyhow, about 9 years ago, he fell in the shower and developed a brain hemorrhage that put him on life support. He was 72 and had led a pretty great life, and we all knew that if he had to die, he would want to die at home quickly. So the family agreed to take him off life support after only a couple of weeks. Now, the doctors told us that the time of actual dying can be very unpleasant to watch, and gave us the choice of saying goodbye and leaving or staying with him. I was the only one who opted to stay with him, and the doctor was right. It was not pleasant. I won't burden your listeners with the details, but I was a wreck. But I felt strongly that I wanted to hold my grandpa's hand as he exited this world. After some struggling and some hesitation, he became perfectly still, and I lost it. I was bawling pretty hard. I wiped away my tears to go let my family know that he was gone, and as I looked up, I noticed my grandpa was looking at me. He was smiling, and his eyes were bright and clear as I had ever seen them, and he was smiling at me. "Grandpa," I said. I reached out to touch his shoulder. He just smiled and slowly closed his eyes. Now, he was without life support for at least 10 minutes before he started going through the obvious motions of dying. He never took another breath. He was gone. He just came back to reassure me that it was okay, that it was better than okay, that it was beautiful. And then he left forever. Isn't that fucking amazing? She goes on to say,
That's awesome.
I'm not a religious person, but I now have this deep feeling in my soul that whatever is waiting for us on the other side, it's worth smiling about. That's just fucking lovely.
It's fucking, we need more of that. Thank
Yes.
you so much for sending that.
Yeah, and she says, "Anyway, I love you guys. You make me laugh till I snort. You make me think, and you even sometimes make me mad. But I am always richer for having spent 90 minutes with the boys from Tales from the Spacepod. Have a lovely holiday."
What a fucking great email. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Kathy in Tennessee. That warmed my heart on several levels, and kind of almost brought a tear to my eye. She painted that picture so clearly, didn't she?
That comes across as like a good death, like one of those good death stories that, like, I've been around death quite quite a bit in the last couple of years, and it's always nice to hear something like that, knowing that they're just reassuring you that you can go on with your life and that they're okay.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. I mean, that would definitely change the way you look at death, right? I mean, this is someone you know very well right in front of you, smiling as they're I mean, he was dead. You know, the machines were off. He died. He was still, and then she went to go tell everybody, and then he was just looking at her and smiling. I don't know. When I read that, I had to reread it, and it was like my heart kind of jumped. I mean, I imagine that would have freaked her the fuck out, and I'm sure it did. But I'm so glad that they had that lovely moment together. And if she hadn't opted for staying in the room with him, she would have missed that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that probably don't have that strength to do that. You know, that's kudos to you too for that.
Yeah, it's crazy. What a different story that would have been if Gramps opened his eyes and just said, "Ah,
Gotcha.
Kathy, never die. It's horrible." Just
There's so much poop.
closes his eyes forever. I'm glad that wasn't your experience, Kathy. All right, moving on. This is from Kyle. Kyle says, "You guys suck. Get a life. You guys are posers." Thanks, Kyle. We will ponder those thoughtful critiques and try to use it to improve our standing with you. By the way, there's no
We'll see
punctuation.
what we can do better.
It's just like your opinion, man.
Is it a relative of Carl?
He may be Carl's younger brother, Kyle. But there's no punctuation, so technically it actually reads, "You guys suck at a life, you guys are posers." So
Is it all in caps too? That'd be great.
no, unfortunately it's not.
Damn.
Is it capitalized at all?
Nope.
Just like
No. His name is
awesome.
capitalized.
That's perfect. Like,
Yeah, it
no
is perfect.
punctuation, no capitalization.
Nothing.
Awesome.
Zero effort. This is from Tracy. "Hey, Space Potters. My mom and I were listening a while back, and in parentheses, yes, I listen with my mom, and you guys were talking with a guest who that said a ghost horse was in his house. I believe that was your friend, wasn't it, Woundy?"
Yeah, that's Shoji.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
interesting. He says, "My mom stopped the cast and said, 'Oh, yeah, I've seen that man.' I said,
What?
And he says, 'Ron, please do that in Sassy's voice.' Done. She goes on to say, 'Yeah, and at your grandparents' house, he used to visit us almost daily. You would hear clomping hoofs down the hall, and we would all say, "Oh, here comes the horseman.'"
Oh, so this is somebody that lived there?
This is his mom talking about when she lived at home with her parents.
Gotcha. Wow.
Now, he goes on to say, "Now, right then, I got a chill up me spine because from a very young age, I remember hearing my mom and my aunt and my grandpa all talking about the horseman. But I thought it was some silly ghost story or a joke that they made up. But looking backward, I can even think of times I heard clomping hooves, and I, again, thought it was my grandpa fucking with us. But my mom said no, it was all real."
Yeah, it's pretty distinct. You can't fake that, you know, not like a coconut can when you walk in.
Crazy.
It's pretty good with the coconut. Get the right acoustics going on.
The tale of brave Sir Robin.
Right?
He goes on to say, "They all just accepted it, and Grandpa even looked it up once, and seeing that the horseman is a very common apparition, and they often are thought to be ghosts of the Civil War." They said a soldier's horse was their lifeline in a war, and they would rely upon these horses with their lives. So much so that they would form these deep bonds with the animals, and soldiers would often be killed alongside with their horse. So it stands to reason that they both would haunt the earth together. Creepy, but I kind of like the idea of that, to use Iranism. I really do say that a lot, don't I?
You do.
That's pretty good.
But that's endearing.
It is. Sure it is. He says, "Keep up the great show, guys." Thank you so much for that, Tracy. You know what the weirdest part of that story is for me? That he listens with his mom.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about muff-diving Nazi ghosts. Can you imagine listening with your mom and being like, "How about you, Mom? You wipe back to front?" Or
Yeah, Ma.
I
imagine
listen
that.
to the podcast with my dad. There's nothing wrong.
Oh, that's right.
He actually
Well, that-
enjoys the podcast.
Yeah, but and listen with your dad seems okay, but listening with your mom, I don't know. That seems strange.
Dude, I tell you what, I talk a lot of shit to my mom, man. My
Yeah.
mom.
Let me tell you.
I almost bitch slapped the hoe tonight. I mean, I talk shit.
This almost went down like a sack of taters.
I will tell her more things than I normally tell you guys.
Oh,
Does this look like pus to you, mother?
She knows my down and dirties.
Is this a
dude.
wart?
We got to get her on the show.
No, no. I love her to death. She's like my, she's my go-to. So
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
nice. That's
She's
good
your
to have a
bae.
relationship like that. She's your bae. She's your May. A May. Can we just settle on May?
Meh.
A mom that you really, really love. Your May. I actually do like that idea, to use Iranism, of man and beast dying together in battle, now roaming the former battlefields in all eternity together. It's easy to forget, especially up here in Yankee territory, that we have this massive battlefield in the middle of our country from a very rough war. By far the largest amount of American soldiers were killed in that war.
Well,
I think it's something like 600,000. And if you take I read somewhere that if you take all the other American wars, like World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, and even Iraq, all those add up to just barely over 600,000. So more than all those wars combined is how many people we lost in the Civil War. That's how fucking bloody it was.
It's your friends and your family.
That's why it's so fucked up. I mean, that
up with, it was a terrible time.
Yeah.
Imagine,
it could be literally brother killing brother.
Oh, totally.
Was in a lot of times.
Yeah.
Moving on, this is fascinating to me. This is from Rosemary in Cuba. In Cuba. This is our first email from Cuba, and I feel naive for assuming that Cuba had no
Sanctions were
internet.
lifted.
Did they have internet?
Yeah, like maybe they don't have free internet, but maybe it seems like I don't know. I feel like that place is locked down pretty tight from our standpoint here in America.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, I suppose. But this fucking email, if this is true, and Rosemary, not calling you a liar, but if this is true, this is one of the strangest tales I've heard in a good while.
I'm ready.
She says, "Hey guys, I have listened for a few months and love the topics and the humor. I wanted to write you to let you know about a goat we had that lived for 3 months without its head."
What? Like the chicken, chicken.
She actually mentions that. My grandmother, a lot of grandparents talk on the show tonight. It's funny. My grandmother tells the story best, as I was far too young to remember. This is her words, I write, and this all took place in 1957. In 1957 in Cuba. She said, "We had a small farm near Santa Clara, and we were butchering a small goat, and when we shot it in the head, it dropped as normal. My husband then removed the head and set it aside, as the heads are most valuable. As he went to skin the rest of the carcass, he couldn't find it. He yelled and yelled at the house, everybody to come out and look for the goat. We have no close neighbors, so it is not likely theft. We almost gave up when the goat suddenly ran by us, headless.
Oh, wow.
It ran around us and... you can just picture that. It ran around us for at least 10 to 15 minutes before it finally just kneeled down and took a rest in the shade. My husband approached it and saw that it was still breathing. If not for the missing head, it looked normal and well. We watched it for a while in amusement, and then it seemed to be in no pain and was not scared. It even let my kids pet it. We told friends and tried to get people to come see it, but nobody came. My husband,
I don't know why.
Come look at our headless goat. Step right up. My husband wanted to shoot it in the heart, but I thought we should leave it to die on its own. I felt as though it was some sort of omen or something. The world was going crazy at this time, and yes, 1957 Cuba, that was right at the height of the fucking revolution. So yes, the world was literally going crazy for them. She goes on to say, so we left him there all night. In the morning, he was over by the rest of the goats in their pen, and he was trying to eat.
My fucking God, it's just like the chicken.
This is right where it goes. This is when my husband remembered the story of a chicken that lived many years with no head, and they fed it through its neck. That's Mike, the headless chicken. We did a story on that way back. I believe that was in the 40s, early 40s. She goes on to say, we tried this, and it worked. We kept him alive for 3 months. Still, nobody would come to see it. And we had no camera, so it was all our own family story. It's true, and people don't always believe us, but it's 100% true.
Wow.
So Rosemary says, so there you have it. I grew up hearing these stories, and even apparently was one of the kids to pet the headless goat. Nowadays, this story would be famous, and we'd have footage and video. But in 1950s Cuba, it was nothing of importance. So there you have it, folks. The headless goat of Cuba. An amazing
Well,
email.
it's important to us.
It is.
Yeah, it's found a home. It's right here.
Thank you so much, Rosemary. It's weird to think of people in Cuba having access to the space pod. I really thought the internet was kind of fucked up there, but I don't know, maybe we slipped through the cracks, or maybe I'm just wrong about it altogether.
My favorite was the chupacabra one that we had in what was it, Africa?
The chupacabra one.
Oh yeah, the
Space
goat
in
herder.
Yeah, the goat herder.
Oh, we had a goat
Shepherd.
herder, yeah, who listened to us on CDs. It fucking blows my mind.
That was incredible.
Here's another one from Kyle.
Fuck you, Kyle.
Kyle says, "Oh, and you are not funny, but you think you are funny." Again, thank you, Kyle, and I'm starting to think you might be a genius.
I wonder if it is Carl. Like, he's just made a new alias because we make fun of Carl so much.
Well,
Carl
I feel like
Kyles,
Carl would talk like a snooty guy. You know, this guy talks like a retard. I feel like even though it's
No
not,
offense, Kyle.
I feel like even though it's not all in caps, I feel like he is shouting it.
Fuck you guys.
Or like a 13-year-old who didn't pay attention in class.
Yeah, you know that cat, that GIF that goes around. That it's that cat slamming the keyboard.
Yes.
I feel like this is Kyle. Well, thanks again, Kyle. We will, as always, take those thoughtful words into consideration. What the fuck is this guy? It might be that
Keep
cat.
sending your emails. We'll read them on the show.
Absolutely.
You're-
Oh, just you
totally.
wait. Now, this one is one of my favorite emails in a while. The Riddler writes, yes, the Riddler. He writes, Spacepod gang, riddle me this. Poor people have it. Rich people need it. If you eat it, you die. What is it? Do you guys know the answer to that? Think about it for a minute.
I feel like I do, but I can't. I'm fucking terrible with these kinds of things.
Right?
Riddles are kind of like IQ
Ego?
questions, you know?
If you want to haiku it, I would say ego, but whatever.
No, IQ, but
Haiku.
we could haiku. I like that.
Ooh, cool.
All right.
IQ.
Anyone got a
don't know.
guess?
I
People,
don't know.
poor people have it. Rich people need it. If you eat it, you die. What is it? The answer is nothing. Very clever. Poor people have nothing. Rich people need nothing. If you eat it, you will die. Very good.
So good.
Yeah. John Mark loved it. Now, riddle me this. If I have it, I don't share it. If I share it, I don't have it. What is it?
Air. No.
How do you share air? I guess you can blow it
Everything. Wait.
someplace. Yeah. One more time. If I have it, I don't share it. If
Hey,
I
I'm
share
agreeing
it,
with-
I don't have it. What is it?
Gifts.
Breath.
It's like an opinion or something stupid like that.
I'm like Kyle.
Common sense.
I think you guys suck.
All right. The answer is a secret. Because you can't share it. It's no longer a secret.
That's
It's-
right.
Yeah, very good. Still with me, he says? Then riddle me this. This is where it gets trickier. In a one-story pink house, there was a pink person, a pink cat, a pink fish, a pink computer, a pink chair, a pink table, a pink telephone, a pink shower. Everything was pink. What color were the stairs?
Oh, they had them in black. No, they're pink.
There was no stairs.
This is like the
Oh, mother.
Yeah, I'm with Chris. There's no stairs.
No stairs. I wasn't paying attention.
We finally got one. The answer, there are no stairs. It's a one-story house.
Right?
And finally...
That's like that old. Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say that's like that old one where you say, if a plane crashes on the border between this state and that state, where do you bury the survivors?
Right? Or
You with me?
if a tree falls in the wood, would it make any sounds?
the best of all riddles. Yeah, the best ones have no answers. My dad used to tell me this one, and it would drive people crazy because it's not truly even a riddle, but it is. A man is trapped in a room by himself. There's nothing in there except. Are you still talking, Lyle? There's nothing in there except a mirror. How does he get out? Have you guys heard this one?
No.
Okay, he looks in the mirror. He sees what he saw. He takes the saw. He cuts the mirror in half.
Oh, yeah.
Well, two halves put together make a hole, and he climbs out the hole.
Man.
That's not the stupidest fucking thing you ever heard.
I've never heard that before.
It's all I have when we're doing
You know,
riddles.
it'd be good. It would be good if it was like animated to a little GIF thing. That would be pretty awesome, though.
That would be good.
That would be good, but would it be better if Kyle would actually hear that and say, "Dude, you're a fucking genius, Ron." Holy shit!
Wow.
I've got.
I
one
changed
for
my
you that-
opinion on you.
I've got one that's it's more math based, but it's kind of fun. You want to do it?
Sure.
All right. A school bus stops. It picks up 18 kids. At the next stop, it drops 3 off and picks 7 more up.
Mm-hmm.
At the next stop, 13 more get on.
You've
At the
already
next
lost
stop,
me. You've already lost me.
Yeah,
He lost me at 7.
never mind. Yeah, fuck you guys.
I'm sorry. Are we all? Wait,
on.
Kyle has a
Keep
point.
going. We want to know the ending.
Yeah, keep going. There's other people that aren't
Let's hear
retards
it.
listening.
At the next stop, 6 people get off. How many stops the motherfucker make?
made 4.
Oh,
Haha.
5.
damn it.
You could have done it,
I
Ron.
could have done it. I'm guessing 5.
No, well, it was like 8.
Was it 8?
Was it?
Maybe it was 6. I'm not counting.
I would say, hold on.
All right, well, let's go back to the Riddler for his final. for his
Yeah, quit
final
doing
riddle.
the dabs, Chris.
He says, and finally, Space Potters, riddle me this. 'Tis never right, day or night. Though it seems quite good, one never should. Any guesses?
Oh, you know what that is? I know exactly
Right
what
back
that
in
is.
front.
No. You go to Germany and you go to a porn shop, right? They got movies playing from fucking 10 to fucking 2.
Picture films?
Yeah, picture films, pornography.
That's what you should never do?
You should probably
Seems
leave
quite good.
before the fire starts.
Well, I have to tell you, Wound
Crap.
Effigy got it 100% right.
Really?
Wiping back to front, you fucking backwards ape men, is what he says. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Monkeys.
He ends with, I love you all. Good night from the Riddler. That was
thank you,
fabulous.
Thanks, Riddler.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this is Donna from Spokane. She says, hey guys, so first off, I'm just over the grass a ways from y'all, and I would love to come visit the Space Pod, but I know you are all over the place now. Are there any Space Pod events coming up at the gallery or any other location where you will all be together? We are thinking about doing a couple of live shows here at the gallery in the not too
Test the
distant
waters.
future. Small crowd type things and have some fun with that. We don't have anything planned at the moment, but I'll keep you posted on that. So something. She goes on to say, also, Ron, you once mentioned a glowing ball over your house. I have seen that exact same thing, and it even came through our window.
What?
No joke, my boyfriend and I were watching this thing outside our house at around 11 p.m., and we thought it was some neighbor kid playing with some cool toy or something.
We just gotten done with 6 lines of blow.
The LSD was kicking in. It flew super high, and we were like, that's no toy. We went to look up the skylight, and it was gone. We looked back at the window, and it was passing into the glass, completely silent, and it was in the middle of our living room. I freaked the fuck out and ran upstairs while my boyfriend tried to get a good look at what it was, but it was just a glowing ball. It hovered over him for a second or two and then went up out through the skylight and back outside. We then watched it for a minute or two from the window, then it flew off. I repeat, it floated through the glass. It did not break the glass or push the window open. Now before it flew away, we took video of it outside, but it didn't turn out because it wasn't focused on the ball, so you don't even see it in the video. We never saw it again, and this was about 6 months ago. We did report it to the cops, which got no response, and a UFO reporting center. The guy from the UFO place said he'd heard dozens of these types of reports around the same area, including Wenatchee. He even actually said Wenatchee. Something new is happening, it seems. My boyfriend thinks it's the government spying on us. I felt like it was either ghost or alien. It did not look like anything we could have invented. Wow, thanks so much for that, Donna. That is a whole new level of freaky, having something actually entering your home and hovering over
lightning.
you in your ball lightning.
No,
I'll
it's
explain.
swamp gas. Swamp
Could be
gas.
an orb.
Very
Like,
interesting.
have-
It could be. I mean, that's what an orb is, really, and it's interesting to think that. I wonder
What
if the
is an orb?
I wonder if the UFO guy was Peter Davenport that she talked to. That would have been. I think about the time that I saw my glowing ball, and it's really interesting to think that the calls were coming from all over the state, including Wenatchee. It's funny to think that it may have been the very same object that entered your home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
What Effigy was talking about was orbs. Me and you, Ron, have actually a mutual friend that I grew up. We hung out playing music together, right? Mm-hmm. He rented a downstairs basement of a house. It was an old house. It was close to my house. It was probably 100 years old.
Yeah.
The previous owner's grandfather died down there. They closed it off. They ended up renting it out because nobody wanted to be down there. It was that kind of creepy vibes, And this was a drummer friend, and we used to sit there and hang out and write music and play down there. And he used to blanket off the windows with like sheets in the daytime. And there was times that he actually seen balls of light fly through the room. When there was no light source at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to.
I was previous to one event that happened. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. What the fuck was that? And that's when I heard the story. And it was pretty encoring thing. So
it's hard to gauge this story against the one that I saw.
It's not even close. Not even close.
It sounds like the thing that she saw was more orby. The thing that I saw, just the movements it made was so. Although I don't know what who knows what a ball of energy from beyond would move like, but it just seems like what I was seeing was piloted. It had that feeling, and it was scanning the way it was scanning through the orchard. It was shining a light. I also think there was focused light. There had to have been. It was reading sort of like a beam of light at one point, like it turned something on as it scanned, because. Otherwise, it would just been a ball of light floating in. It wouldn't have that scanning effect, So there's something being focused, and I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I saw, but it troubles me.
Yeah, what we're talking about staying night. What I'm talking about is more of the spiritual kind of haunting, ghostly.
Well, it's hard to know. I mean, it's hard to know what I saw wasn't spiritual.
Is more like extraterrestrial kind of.
Every time.
I love that.
Every time.
I love that we all have words that we just, no matter how many times we say them, we can't get right. For the longest fucking time, I could not say specific. And even now, when I think about it, I have to think about it because I always want to say specific.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I always
when I was a kid, I couldn't say specific either. I would always say Pacific.
Yeah.
And my dad would look at me like,
that's an
no, it's specific, you moron.
That's the ocean I'm going to throw you in, you fucking retard. Learn your words. So it's funny how we get to some words that are so tricky. Like, who thought specific is hard to say? Or what was the word that we thought was ironic that it was so hard to say? Oh, effortlessly. You have a stroke saying effortlessly. Like, who writes these words that are so fucking tough to say? Cat. I like cat. That's probably why we like cats and dogs so much. Like the first words that we teach kids. Well, before we get out of here, one more bit of wisdom from my new favorite listener, Kyle.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Wow.
Yeah.
Multiple?
Now, I'll be honest. These came over 2 messages, but I broke it up into 3 because I thought it'd be funnier. He says, of course, again, he just goes into these fucking. It could be crazy, actually. Maybe we should be careful. He says, of course, everything's a conspiracy theory. When you are stupid or high, only idiots think so. Again, no punctuation. One more time. Of course, everything's a conspiracy theory. When you are stupid or high, only idiots think so. Well. Let's listen to this, because I'm not sure what he's saying here. Are you saying that only idiots think conspiracies are stupid? Because you're kind of wording it like you're saying, okay, one more time. Of course, everything's a conspiracy theory when you are stupid or high. Are you saying only idiots think so about what you just said?
I don't even think I can waste any energy trying to decipher.
There's 5 stops. 5 stops the bus, mate. No,
Yeah.
If it's a short bus, I think Kyle might be in. But anyways, welcome to the Spacepod family, Kyle. Please do never stop being you. But we should get on out of here. Ron at bournefilms.com, the spacepod.yuku.com. That's our forum. Find us on Facebook. Give us a like. Follow our endeavors. Thanks once again, Wound Effigy, for joining us. So glad you could be here.
Thank you.
And
Thank you to everyone that's been commenting and liking on Facebook. We don't do this for money. We don't make any money off this, clearly. So getting a little
you guys don't
yet. Getting a little.
If you haven't left us a review on iTunes, please do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Anything you can do, any little share, any thumbs up, wherever you find us, however you listen to us. If you take the minute or two to log in, however you have to do it, and just share us, praise us, like us. It's not just because it makes us feel good. It really is how we make the show grow. It is a grower, not a shower. We want it to be a shower, no matter how cold it is outside, or how many people are pointing and laughing and calling you a little girl. Tune in next week, 9/11. Oh, I got used to it. Night, guys.
Good
See
night.
ya.
Bye.
9/11. All right. Dum, 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 dum.
Happy trip.
These shows are getting longer and longer, aren't they?
They are.
Pushing 2 hours. It's hard to cram these in. They're going to be 3 hours next year. All right.
Can we
Way to
chorus?
show us.
Huh?
Can we chorus one? The goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay. Keep holding. Keep holding it.
No, we can't. Goodbye.
It's more of a monk.
It's like a didgeridoo.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Goodbye.
Spirit calm. All right, see you guys.
See ya.
So I'm gonna go